How to recognize wrong leadership or leadership by fear. You could put that on the screen. When you have people around you who cannot tell you what they think about you. Next. When the team you are leading cannot really say what they think about the team's vision or goals and strategies and all that. Next. This is when you're receiving now. When you are constantly afraid of being punished by the person you are following. Now, I'm dealing with this not just you as a leader, but you as a follower. So when you are in that third position, what should you do? Speak your mind with respect. Okay? Speak your mind. It will help you. It will help you. I was timid. I've been timid in my past relationships before. Thank God I have changed. And now that I've learned to stop being timid and speak up my mind when I feel something is not right, I have actually learned to be a better leader. Because if you end up being this kind of a person, you will be that kind of a leader. Do you understand what I mean? If you be a follower who can't speak out, being afraid of being punished when they're being led, you as a leader will end up being that way. You'll be the leader that will use consequences of speaking out to punish people around you. What do I mean by consequences of speaking out? Two of you are working in my department. I said we're going to do it this way. She said, yeah. And he said, not sure. Okay. Before we were like all high five, pa, 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 different ways. Those when they do it, pa, pa, pa. All kinds of high fiving. And all of a sudden, now that he spoke out, maybe he was a bit silly to speak out publicly. So I felt disgraced, felt embarrassed. Guess what happens? My high five only now stays with ha, pa, pa, pa. And him like, nice to meet you again. Little, very small, but it leaves a massive statement. Next time he will not speak out. Because if he cherishes my relationship and I pull away from my relationship, all of a sudden I've sent a message without saying anything. I've told him, you cannot do that. You just can't speak out. He hasn't acted out. I hope you understand what I'm saying, guys. He hasn't said, I'm not going to do what you said. He just said, I think we should. I think we should. I am grateful to God for that. And here in this house, I want you guys to be that way. Yeah, I want you guys to be that way. Okay? Because it makes you a better Christian. It actually makes you a better person. It makes you the kind of Christian that will stand in the society and you look at your MP and say, no, we're not having that. Because if we keep raising Christians who are afraid of their leaders and pastors and things like that, they're not going to speak out in the public as well. You don't. Where do you get that confidence? Jesus knew what was going to face, and yet he went there, loudly he stood there, knowing he's going against the standard, knowing he's going against the rules and regulations that have been taught. But guess what? He spoke out. It's not just Jesus. Peter did it. Paul did it. All these disciples did it. I was talking about leaders who did this very well. Do you know Jesus is one of them? He did not lead his disciples by fear. Or else Peter would not dare say what he said about trying to stop him from going to the cross. Has he not been preaching about going to the cross? He's been talking about it all the time. He talked about it. And yet, he came to a point, Peter said, no, I don't think you should do this. The guy spoke out his mind. Of course, Jesus also told him off. You get my point? But Peter would not dare have done that if he was afraid of Jesus. Amen. So I'm not just talking about the Old Testament, guys. I'm talking about even our Master Jesus was like that. Let's be that kind of leader, and let's also be the kind of follower like Peter who will speak our mind. Because in the end, who was Jesus giving leadership to? It was the guy that spoke his mind. It was the guy that said what he thinks. It was the guy that looked like he was going to be the waste. That looks like he's going against everything Jesus is planning, yet that's the one he put in charge. Because he spoke his mind. He held nothing back. Again, please, I'm not saying be disrespectful to people. No. if that's what you're receiving or hearing this, that's not what Pastor King is preaching.